Congressman, it's good to see you again. Okay, this breaking news coming out of Politico. Let's get your reaction to this. President Biden's top advisors are increasingly afraid and worried about the Democrat National Convention in Chicago, that it's just going to be like what happened in 1968 with out of control riots and protests. We warned this was coming last year in 2023. The Evening Edit was breaking, stories about this. Hey, watch out. But, here's the thing. Politico is saying now that the Democrats are getting no help from Chicago's Democrat Mayor Brandon Johnson. He's siding with the protesters. He's sympathetic with them, to the point there's a joke going around Democrat circles that the main difference between 2024 and 1968 is that the mayor of Chicago this year is going to be on the side of the protesters, not the cops. What do you see coming?
Well, Liz, thanks for having me on. Look, it's no joke, the systemic anti-Semitism that is rising to the surface and becoming aware to most American people in the Democrat Party. And this mayor, Mayor Johnson of Chicago, sides with Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and the folks that are pro-Palestine war against the Jews in Israel, and they are for the dissolution of the Jewish state. That's what they want. That's when they chant from the river to the sea. That's what they mean. And they also, unfortunately, mean the same thing when they chant death to America in places like Dearborn, Michigan. I think we're going to see that moved right to Chicago, and I think it's going to be a regular feature of their convention. Unfortunately, this is happening in America, courtesy of your Democrat Party.
It's arguably different, right? In Chicago 68, it was about, the Vietnam War protests. Now it's about the virulent strain of anti-Semitism, rifling through the Democrat Party. I mean, Politico notes that the Chicago mayor, he was an organizer with the teachers union. He has not made the jump from, to mayor from activists. So now the Democrat strategy is to maximize viewership with canned programming on television and minimize what's going on, the live programming at the actual convention. Do they really think that voters are not going to see what's going on as they try to paint another picture for them?
Well, they sure hope so, Liz. I mean, maybe Fox will actually cover the events, but let's face it, CNN, MSNBC, and NPR, for example, are not going to be covering events that are disruptive and paint a negative light on the convention, President Biden, and the Democrat Party at large. This anti-Semitism has been around, this systemic anti-Semitism has been around since literally the 1860s, and we're just seeing a resurgence of it right before our eyes, and it's all because of the policies and the weakness of the president and the Democrat Party.
It is flat out nothing more than hatred of Jewish people. Full stop. And it's wrong. Now we've got this. We've got universities nationwide. They're bracing for major protests at graduation ceremonies. More and more cops are they have to resort to tear gas to stop what is turning into violence on college campuses. They did it at the University of Arizona in Tucson, at the University of South Florida, at Emory University in Georgia. But cops are getting criticized. What do you think of this?
Well, I'll tell you, I stand with the police trying to keep order. If I was sending my child to a college where they were doing that, I will tell you, I wouldn't be paying the bills. I've talked to so many constituents that say, look, I sent my good kids to college and they came home, turned out to be Marxists. And they say, I throw my hands up. What can I do? Here's what you can do, Liz. Stop paying the bill and stop sending your children to these Marxist training camps known as U.S. colleges.
And Congressman, you know what's going to happen next? Watch the enrollment. We think it might happen. Watch the enrollment drop at Harvard, at Columbia, at the Ivies, where they allowed this to get out of control with diversity and equity inclusion, agendas that really they think they're tolerant, but they're being so tolerant. They think they're about diversity when it's not about diversity of thought. Congressman Perry, thank you so much for joining us. Final word. Go ahead. Final word.
Thank you, Liz. I was just going to say the other thing that should be diminished is any federal funding to these anti-Semitic colleges. But that's another story. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you, Liz.
Thank you so much.